Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm in a bit of a good mood today and I've got a big thank you to make to all of you because I hit 300 subscribers in the middle of the night. Yay! Jack's here and he's doing a little dance in the background to thank you too. Say hello, Jack.
Hi.
Thank you so much. It really cheered up my day. So, I also have another thank you.
About your day?
No, but it's just, well, I've been in pain a lot, haven't I, this week, Jack? So it cheered me up. Anyway, enough of that. I also have a thank you to say to Rachel Fletcher, who sent me a brilliant question the other day on Instagram, which was she was trying to decide between the Retoucher and the new Magic Away concealer, and it inspired me to do today's video. Now, I'm going to link another video below, because a while back I did a video called Help with Charlotte Tilbury Primer, and I basically did a comparison review of all 4 of her primers that she has available, and a lot of people found that extremely helpful. And so Rachel's question made me think, why don't I do a Help with Charlotte Tilbury concealer to use? So that is going to be my video today. So I'm going to be doing a comparison of the Retoucher, the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, and the new Magic Away concealer, giving you as much information as possible for you to make a decision about whether or not you want 1, 2, or maybe like me and you're crazy and you've got all 3. Okay, but it will just give you the information to help you to decide which one suits you best. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to put on my foundation, and I've put on Wonder Glow already, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I have pain brain. I've just spent the last 20 minutes looking frantically for my notes on a notebook, and then realised I'd put them on my notes on my phone. So I did a lot of research on this. Hopefully it shows. Anyway, so here we have the 3 products. Now, I don't know what order they came out in actually. I would imagine that the Retoucher came first. Because by the time I started buying from Charlotte Tilbury, the Retoucher and the Mini Miracle Eye Wand were available. But I think the Retoucher came first. So this is the Retoucher. And I will just swatch you. I've got mine in shade 3. So the Retoucher comes in 10 shades, okay? I'm going to go through this again in a minute. Just doing a quick overview. Then you have the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, which comes in 5 shades, and the Magic Away, which comes in 16 shades. So there's so much to say about all of these products that I'm going to split it into sections like I did last time. So first of all, we're going to deal with the cost and value for money, okay? Okay, so let's look at the amounts that are in each product, shall we? So first of all, we have the Retoucher, which is 3.5 mils of product, okay? You then have the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, which is also 3.5 mils. Really sorry, guys. It's actually 3 mils, which means all my calculations are out. But there's a but. I'm going to come back to it in a minute. Just keep that in your head. And then we have the Magic Away, which is 4 mils of product. Right, now, when you look at the prices, the Magic Away is £24, coming out at the cheapest. The Retoucher is £25, and the Mini Miracle Eye Wand is £29. So I've worked it out per mil, and that is the Magic Away is £6 per mil. Sorry, that one. They both look very similar. The Retoucher is £7.15 per mil, and the Mini Miracle Eye Wand is £8.29 per mil. So because there was less product than I thought, it actually works out at £9.66 per mil. But it's even more expensive than that. So remember I said there's a but. I'm assuming, because it doesn't tell me otherwise, and I stand to be corrected by anyone at Charlotte Tilbury, but the amount given is 3.5 mils. And it doesn't say, it doesn't give any more details than that. So I'm assuming that is the total amount of mils that's in this product. And as you will know, if you don't know, the Mini Miracle Eye Wand has got two sections to it. So first of all, it has the eye serum on one end, and then the other side, it has the eye brightener. It's like a concealer, but it's more of a brightener. Now, assuming, as we have to, in the absence of any other information, that the total mils of this is 3.5 mils, that means you're only getting 1.25 mils of the actual concealer. Oh dear, that didn't even add up to start with. Anyway, you're getting 1.5 mils for each product. But you are also getting another half of it in serum. But in terms of actual concealer, you're only getting 1.25 mils, which makes this very, very expensive. And I'm going to get on to some other things about the duality of this, the pros and cons, in a minute. Okay? So in terms of value for money, what I've also discovered over the years is it's no good just looking at kind of the price per mil and how much is the initial outlay, because I've bought some things that are seemingly very expensive, like Charlotte's Magic Night Cream, for example. That lasts me about 9 months because you only need a little bit of it. I don't actually think that that's going to affect the pecking order of these. I don't think it actually affects it in terms of value, and I'll tell you why. The Retoucher, the way that it dispenses product, and you will see I've got a big blob of product now because I just twisted up the lid, and I'm not going to waste that. But it's a brush and it dispenses liquid, and then you wipe it across your eyes, which I will show you in a while. Now the Magic Away is a thicker consistency, and it dispenses product via this sponge, and you press it on, and you actually, because it's so very highly pigmented, you don't need a lot. It actually controls the amount of product that you use. Now I've only had this product for less than a week, but I'm pretty certain that this is going to last me a lot longer than my Retoucher, because of the consistency and because of the way that it's dispensed and because of the amount of pigmentation. So I do think that this is the best value for money that you're going to get. As for the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, I think I'm on my third. And there isn't that much. I always run out of this before I run out of the serum. And let's get on to that. I think that is my frustration with this. Although it's very brightening under the eyes, and I do love it, I always run out of the concealer part, the brightening part, before the serum. So I've got loads of empty ones of this with just serum in the end. Because you don't need a lot of serum, but you need more of that. But I have known people that have run out of the serum before the brightener. I had to think about that. But nevertheless, it's very unlikely that you are going to use exactly the same amount of product on either side of this. And you will probably find that you run out of one item before the next. And that is very frustrating. Okay. So that is the value for money. So number one is coming in at Magic Away, to recap, for best value for money. Then the next one for value for money is the Retoucher. And then the third is the Mini Miracle Eye Wand. Okay? Okay, in terms of ingredients, now I just want to say before I talk about this is purely information that I've got from comparing all three products on Charlotte Tilbury's website. But if you have specific allergies, I recommend that you contact Charlotte Tilbury's customer services. Please do not take my word for it, because I am just pulling together information that is available on her website. And I'm not a specialist in allergens or a makeup artist. I'm just an enthusiast. So with that in mind, I'm just going to tell you the information. Now, if you're one of these people that doesn't like mica or doesn't like talc, there is a big difference between these three products. So in the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, you will have mica and talc. In the Retoucher, there is mica but not talc. And in the Magic Away, there is talc but not mica. Okay? None of them are tested on animals. They are all gluten-free. They are all paraben-free. What I love about the new Magic Away is that it's alcohol-free, because I have very sensitive eyes and I do not like it when I see alcohol in the ingredients, which I did on this, that give you that tightening effect, because they also make me quite sensitive. I've got very sensitive eyes. This is alcohol free, and this one is also states that it's nut free. Now, again, I don't know whether that means that these have got traces of nuts in them. I'm just stating what is on the website. This is the only one that states that it is nut free. But if you have a nut allergy, I would definitely recommend you checking out before you buy directly from customer services, which I'm sure you know. Okay, so that's the ingredient information in terms of allergens and things that you may not like, and in terms of animal testing. Okay, so let me just talk you through now some of the products, because I've been using these two for a long time, and obviously I've been using the Magic Away for a week. I'm going to start with a little grumble. There's a chart on the Charlotte Tilbury website that gives you a guide as to which shades of Magic Away recommended for you based on your Magic Foundation shade and your other products like Light Wonder, Magic Foundation, Mini Miracle Eye Wand, Retoucher, and so on. Okay, so, and it is a very good guide, but I do have a grumble. So when you look at this table for me, I'm just going to put the table in between so you can see what I'm talking about, and you will find this on the site. Okay, so when I tried out Magic Away last week, I absolutely love it, right? And it did brighten my eyes a little bit, but not very much. Now, I don't want to brighten them too much, but there are some days where if I haven't slept, I do need to brighten them quite a little bit. And I just wasn't sure whether it was a little bit too subtle, the brightening effect. And whether or not I could get away with shade 5. But on the chart, it recommends that for shade 6.5 and 6.75... Sorry, I should qualify in Magic Foundation. The shade that they recommend is shade 6, which is what I have. But then when I was doing my research, you'll probably notice that when you look at her products, if you scroll down, there's normally a kind of instructional video. And when I scrolled down on shade 6, there was an instructional video, and they're showing a makeup artist who's not Charlotte, come back Charlotte, trying on this Magic Away. And the lady was shade 6.5, which is in the same group as me, and she used shade 5. Now that annoys me, because if you're using an instructional video, I think it should be consistent with the advice that you're giving consumers. And I do often find that when you look at some of her instructional videos in terms of the retoucher, they're using shades that they don't recommend for that particular shade elsewhere. And it just gets a bit confusing. I've ordered shade 5 because I love this and I know I'm going to use it anyway. I absolutely love this, and I've been getting a lot of use out of it this week. So I will let you know whether shade 5 is actually going to be okay. Because if it's not, if it's too light, I have a family member that I can give it to. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. So what I said last week is that your recommended shade, so if you're looking for your recommended shade, the shade that they recommend is slightly lighter than your foundation shade that in the chart. But it's not a lot lighter. And I will let you know whether the shade below is too light, if you get what I mean. Okay, so the Magic Away. Shall we start with the newest? Magic Away is full coverage concealer. It comes in a kind of pen-like, very portable. They're all very portable, to be honest. And the idea is that you twist up some product onto the sponge and then you dab it on, and you can either blend in with your fingers or with a damp beauty blender. Very full coverage. And I heard Wayne Goss calling it the spandex for under your eyes. And it really did hit home to me, because when you're using it, it kind of does feel a bit stretchy. It feels like there is something in there that sort of smooths things out and you can push the product around. Very highly pigmented. You don't need a lot. And I think it looks very natural. I actually have been preferring using this without powder. And I found that you can get away with that because it comes out almost matte. Now, don't be put off by that if you've got fine lines. I know that matte often means shows up fine lines, but actually I didn't find that, and I found it more so when I set it with the powder, that the powder was nice, but I just preferred the look of it without. So that is Magic Away. That one, just to remind you, comes in 16 shades. So there's a lot of shades to pick from. And that's the most shades that any of her concealers come in. Now the Retoucher. The Retoucher I've been using for a long time, but I don't tend to use it when I'm making up my face. Because it's not got high enough coverage for me. And I also have very watery eyes. So Magic Away actually is very waterproof and it holds up to my watery eyes. The Retoucher doesn't. But what it is very good at doing is that if you get halfway throughout the day and your mascara's run or your concealer has run, you can put that underneath and it doesn't look like you've layered something over the top and it looks a bit cakey. It's something that's very good to layer, and it doesn't make your skin look clogged up. It's just very, very good. Now, if you don't have hyperpigmentation like me, or you don't have a lot of darkness under your eyes, but you have some fine lines, I definitely recommend the Retoucher, because you may not need full coverage. I would say this is medium coverage, and it does look beautiful. I am going to be putting these on at the end, so just bear with me, but I'm just doing the comparison for now. Definitely really good for carrying around in your handbag and touching up, not just under your eyes, but you can actually, so you have options with this. You can either get this in a lighter shade, or you can get it in the same shade as your foundation and either cancel out blemishes with the same shade, or you can get a lighter one and use it under your eyes if you want to brighten under your eyes. So that is a very good option. And I would say Retoucher, depending on how long you use it, it lasts reasonably. I've You see, I don't use it all the time, so I just touch up with it in the day. I think if you're just using it to touch up in the day, it would probably last you 4 or 5 months. I think if you're using it every day, then it would probably last you 2.5 months. It's very difficult to estimate because it depends on how much product you use. And I don't know how long the Magic Away is going to last me, but I suspect it's going to last a lot longer. And the advantage that you have with the Magic Away is that you can see how much product you've got left. Whereas in the Retoucher, you don't know until you've run out. So often with the Retoucher, I've got one spare, just waiting in the wings, because I don't like to run out of this. I do really like this one. Now, moving on to the Mini Miracle Eye Wand. Now, this is a product that is really good if you need to brighten under your eyes. No doubt about it. Or if you've got fine lines, because it has a serum at one end and it has the brightener at the other. And so what's very good is that you put the serum on first. Now, the thing I don't like is that it's got alcohol in the serum, which is what gives you a slightly tightening effect. It's not uncomfortable, but I just don't like the idea of anything with alcohol in it under my eyes, which is why I prefer the Magic Away wand. This is very good, and the way that I've often used it is to mix it, which is how I was shown how to use it in Charlotte Tilbury shop. So you can either put this over the top of your Retoucher, or you can put it on its own, or you can mix this with your Retoucher, and you've got the brightening effect. What I also love to do with this, let me show you, I can do this now, is, have I got some left on there? Let me just wind some up. Is that you can do this, so anywhere that you've got little crevices that you don't want to show up as much, and I'll just blend that in, and you will see that what it does is it just takes the shadow away, so it makes those recesses appear a lot less obvious. And really great for putting in the corner there. I'm not touching my eyes for a minute because I'm going to do a demo in a while. So that is really good for that. It's a really good trick. And also Charlotte puts it underneath the eyebrows to give a lifting effect to the eyes, which is really good. And you can use it in there, as I said. So it's versatile. They're all pretty versatile, I have to say. Again, very portable. But I am now on my third one of these, and they do run out very quickly, and a big frustration about the fact that you're running out of one thing before the other. And I have got two wands with serum in them. I would like to see this product manufactured again and take the serum out, perhaps sell it separately, and I can see the advantage of having a serum in your bag to kind of moisturise, but I think you're left with such a little amount of the brightener that it's a shame. And because you're running out of things at different times, I think it would be far better to have just the brightener on its own. And then just sell the serum as a separate product. But yeah, so that is the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, and this only comes in 5 shades, but I don't think that matters because it's a brightener. It's not intended to sort of match your skin tone as closely as the other two. Okay, in terms of using combination of products, I've told you already that I often mix these two together. So I often mix the Retoucher and the Mini Miracle Eye Wand. So if I want a bit more brightening, I actually have the Retoucher in my shade, my sort of face shade, shade 3. And then I add this to brighten under my eyes, and then I can use this for around my phone. I have the Mini Miracle in shade 2. But the other option is, of course, that I could just get this in a lighter shade. These mix together really, really well, and they're very similar consistency. Now, the other day, because I wanted to try this out for you for this video, the other day I mixed these two together, Magic Away and Retoucher. And these two work very nicely together, with this as a retoucher throughout the day. The only thing is that I very much doubt that you're going to need it, because this Magic Away has got such good coverage that it's unlikely that you're going to need to use a retoucher over the top. But if you do, or if it comes off or you rub it off, then these two work really, really well together. So that's an option. Now, yesterday, just because I wanted to try all combinations, I tried to layer this on top of Magic Away, and it didn't work for me. It kind of... I'm going to give it another go and I'll keep you updated, but it seemed to make the product, the Magic Away, split, and so it creased, and it just looked a bit grey and not very nice. And it didn't have the brightening effect that it normally has on its own. So that one didn't work for me. So I'm not sure that these two would combine. So Retoucher and the Mini Miracle combine well, and the Retoucher and the Magic Away combine very well. But Magic Away and the Mini Miracle just didn't work for me. In terms of all three, I would just say, because just in the interests of every single combination, why would you want to do that unless you just want these two pairs of eyes to be seen from Mars and nothing else on your face and to look really cakey? Possibly you might want to use some of the serum before applying one of the other products, but really no need for all three. Okay, so that's that. Now, moving on, the last part of this is, and I do need to move on because we're going to go out in a minute. I thought what I would do is I would put on the Magic Away concealer on one eye. I'm going to hopefully not look too strange. And on the other eye, I'm going to put on the Retoucher mixed with the Mini Miracle Light Wand. Okay, I hope I don't look too strange. And I'm going to test it out for you. I think we already know that this Magic Away wand is going to last a bit longer, but I also wanted you to see what they look like on. If it looks too strange, I might not do the wear test, because I think we know this is going to last. And this does last. It lasts all day. It doesn't crease. It doesn't... My eyes watered. It didn't affect. It is fantastic. Right, it's fantastic stuff. I never want to run out of this. So it probably isn't necessary to do a wear test, but we'll see what it looks like. But I definitely want you to see the difference in look to the two. So I'm going to apply the two. I'm going to apply them all with my fingers so that I don't contaminate my beauty blender with one or the other product. I'm just going to get myself a bit more comfortable and I'll be right back. Okay, so looking at my eyes, I'm just trying to think here which one to do which. This one looks darker, but I think it's just the angle that I'm sitting at. So I have turned the light up today, guys, to the highest setting, just so that you can see under my eyes because it's quite dark outside. So I'm going to put the Magic Away under this one because it is a bit darker, and show you what that looks like. And I'm going to put put it on with my fingers. So the idea is that you press this onto the skin like so. Now if you want this to be a bit more long lasting, there's a couple of things that you can do. Is you can leave it for a minute. And I looked at that, and it was a little tip on Charlotte's website. It's just leave it to go a bit more tacky for a while, and then it will stay on a bit longer. Okay, so I will just, so that you can see what it looks like unblended, there it is. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to leave it that long. And then what I do is I just go round and I dab and push it into my skin. What you don't want to do with concealers is to rub. It's very tempting, I've done it, when you're in a hurry, is to wipe. But all you're doing is wiping off product. And you're not going to get the full benefit of the coverage. Okay, so you might want to, I mean, I just did a bit of a wipe over my eye there. But what you want to do is to press it. I nearly got some of that in my eye. I might need to just come out in a minute and just wipe that away. But you just press it. And you see I'm pressing and rolling. Now if you do that, you're warming it up with your finger. You can do this with a beauty blender as well. But that's what it looks like. Now I'm just going to zoom in there so that you can see that. So as you can see, it's very full coverage. And I know what Wayne Goss is talking about in terms of it being spandex. It feels almost elasticy, that you can sort of stretch it to where you want it. You know, you can push it to areas rather than getting more product. Okay, now just to show you that you can layer this. So if you think, I'm still a bit dark there, I want to kind of lighten that a bit more. I'm going to be interested to see what 5 looks like on me. I have a feeling I'm going to like it.
4 other people and I'm still dancing.
And this can be used.
4 other people. Yeah.
I've got lots of noises going on, not just in the flat, but outside today.
Yeah, and also me dancing. My way to victory.
So,
I swear, the mask I could
okay, you can use this on your eyes, but you can also use this elsewhere. So, where I have this thread vein, just to show you that it is very, very good coverage and will cover redness. See, and if you push that in, it's covered it up. Where I have that brown pigmentation spot, push it in. It might peep through a little bit because brown is always really difficult to cover up, but you can just layer it up. Okay. I also find that this is really good to use as an eye primer. If you see, it's evened out my skin quite nicely. And it's not, can you see there? I don't know what that's a foundation that I managed to get a little bit with a beauty blender on. And it's starting to settle into fine lines. This one isn't yet, even though I would still blend it before I start applying some powder. And I'm just going to get rid of that little fleck that's about to go into my eyes because I got a bit too close there. Okay, I've got rid of that as best as I can. It's really interesting that it is set in my waterline. That's how good it is. I've been sort of doing that on my waterline and it is set there. So it just goes to show why I really don't think you need that much setting powder, if at all. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the Retoucher and the Mini Miracle Eye Wand. So let me just show you the Retoucher. Now the Retoucher is a liquid, so it is a lot more fluid. You are going to use a lot more of it. But what I do is I get some on my hand, said she, just wiping it away, which was very silly. Right, I get some on my hand, or you can use a palette, one of those glass palettes or whatever. And then I get some of the mini Miracle Eye Wand. So that is in shade 3. And then in shade 2, I use the mini Miracle Eye Wand. And I put that next to it. Let me just put a little bit there next to it there. And then I mix them together onto my hand. And then with my finger, dab under the eye. And then again I would just start pressing. Now this is a lot more liquid, and it doesn't, you have to move it a lot more. You have to sort of spread it around a lot more, whereas the other one you can kind of push into place almost. But this one, I've got it on my hand there, just using that as a palette. So just pressing that in. So you can see there's a real brightening effect going on. But it's a bit misleading, this, because of the light. But this one I needed to use more product. And I'm just going to put some on. Can you see I've got another thread vein that side? See, I created that just so I could show you the difference. And it doesn't quite cover that thread vein. Not as well as the Magic Away. Sorry, I don't have a matching brown spot there to show you. But I could show you this one. So let me just show you this one. That will kind of give you an idea that it doesn't quite cover it, but it is very light. So if you don't have a lot of discoloration, the Retoucher or the Retoucher mixed with the Mini Miracle Eye Wand is a good option. Okay, I think I may have wiped some of that off as well when I was trying to get to, let me just put another layer on, when I was trying to get rid of that stuff on my eyelid. Because this is definitely really, really good coverage. And it doesn't look like it at the moment.
So everyone here has a mic. Hey, bro. Can you hear me?
Okay, so this is Magic Away.
No. I lagged when I jumped.
And this is the Retoucher.
Let's get... we need husks coming in.
Magic Away, shade 6.
No scope.
Retoucher, shade 3, mixed with Mini Miracle, shade 2.
I didn't get to finish the challenge on
Okay, I don't think that looks too different in terms of going out. So I'm going to set both with the magic powder, and I will do the rest of my makeup, and I'll check back in with you later on. Okay, see you very soon. Bye-bye. I nearly forgot. Some of you have been talking about concealers that crease, and that you've said that the Magic Away creases. And it can do if you put too thick a layer on. But Wayne Goss showed me a technique which is a real game changer on his channel, which is to take some tissue paper and very lightly just press over the top of your... Press is the wrong word. Just let it touch so that it just takes the top layer of oil off the concealer. And I'll do that both sides in the interest of fair play. And before you set it, and that is less likely to make it crease. Okay, be right back. Okay, that's me back. I have actually gone and got us our lunch, so a bit of time has elapsed, But I'll check in with you later so that you can see the difference and how these two wear. So just to remind you, this is the Retoucher mixed with the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, and this is Magic Away. Alright, see you soon. Take care. Hi guys, sorry about the lighting. It's now 7.5 hours since I put these products on. And just to remind you that this was the Retoucher and Mini Miracle Eye Wand eye. And this is the Magic Away eye. Now I've been out and my eyes started watering, and I think you can probably see now why it is that I prefer the Magic Away. Let me just pick this up here for you. And let me just show you. So that's the Magic Away eye, and that is the Retoucher eye. Okay?
Hey.
Yes. And that's Jack saying hello. So
I need to show up in every video one time at least.
So there's nothing wrong with the Retoucher, and I think if you have not got watery eyes, or you don't need really high coverage, then I think that this would work fine. Absolutely. And actually I'm quite surprised. I thought that you would see quite a marked difference between the two, and I was quite surprised that you can't. But don't forget that this is mixed with the Mini Miracle Eye Wand, which is a brightener. Both sides have come off here and here, although that one more than that. But you can see that even though my eye was watering, both eyes were watering, that this one stayed put a lot longer. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, or if I haven't answered anything that you really want me to answer, just post a comment below and I'll try and answer it for you as best as I can. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a request for Foundation Friday, and so catch that. And then I'm going to be putting up on Instagram stories tomorrow so that you can pick my Get Ready With Me on Saturday. So you will have the choice of Golden Goddess, or what was the other one? Oh, you'll have to look at Instagram tomorrow. It was Golden Goddess or something else, and I can't remember what it was now, but I will check back. Golden Goddess or something else that you gave a lot of votes for. So yeah, I hope you join me tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.